Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Farm Sim 25, and welcome back to our New Frontier Survival Challenge, where we started from scratch with nothing but a truck and a chainsaw. And today, we got our work cut out for us once again. You guys know the deal. In the last episode, we managed to clean up the mess that we created, so there's that. But in today's episode, we got to go through and start making this area that we cleaned up our new planting area for our tree farm. So you guys know we still got some trees left over there to harvest, but we're not worried about that today. We've got $43,000 to turn this area into a beautiful tree farm. We do have some stuff that we need to grind up, so we will need our tractor over here with the whatchamacallit. I can't think of what I'm... Can't think of the word. Stump grinder. That's the thing. I couldn't think of it. For the life of me, could not think of it. All right, let's drop the trailer. We don't need that. Let's get a little green over here. Get this thing across the map so that we can hook up to our stump grinder and get this party started. And I just want to say thank you guys to everybody for your continued support throughout this series. You guys have been absolutely awesome for the entire series. Like, I couldn't have imagined. Like, I don't know if you guys have gone back and looked at the first episode. First episode has absolutely blown up for the channel. We've got a couple of hundred new subscribers from you guys that are out there watching Farm Sim, so thank you guys so much for everything. I just cannot thank you guys enough. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you before we get started. But we're going to grab our stump grinder, which is all the way down here at the end. We still have plenty of stuff that we can load up and take in for a load if we need to make a little bit of quick money today. That won't take too long. We've got our loader or our claw right here. But main thing first is to grab our stump grinder and prepare to start cleaning. That's the wrong button. All right. Now, the next thing I want to do is go on to the map. I want to look at the farmland, and I want to try to put ourselves in a position where we can see everything, right? So we're about at the edge of the property line right here. So I want to go straight back from here, essentially. And this is going to be one of those times where I want to figure down here is probably good. We don't need to go all the way to the end of the property down there. We do have a few more trees that we could easily clean up here. But if we go into construction menu and we look at where we're at, we can essentially go into the painting and start looking at, like, all of this is going to be $2 per. And so this is all going to be kind of expensive. But we're looking for gravel, I believe. So we'll look and see what kind of gravel we can do. So there's this gravel texture. And then there's the more normal gravel textures. And then there's rock. So I'm thinking we go with, like, this gravel texture here. Try that out. But I want to come all the way up here. We're going to be making a mess. So we want to bring this essentially from here all the way down. Right? And then we'll bring over. Something like that. And then we simply fill in the gaps in between. Now, obviously, there's still some stuff that can be changed around. But what this is going to do is two things. One, it's going to show us where all the stumps are. Two, it's going to get rid of all the little bushes. I know we're spending a ton of money right now. But this is the majority of the expense for today. Right? So this is going to show where all the stumps currently are located. All right? It's going to get rid of all the little bushes that aren't consequential. And then it's going to also allow us to come in and we can still plant trees on this, I believe, right? So that's not going to be an issue. But all of these little bushes that are left are going to have to be ground down. And then obviously with all the tree stumps, we're going to have to come in here and clean that up as well. So that was the main reason. So we're just going to go through. We're going to clean this area up. By grinding all these little freaking branches and stuff down. Alright, so we've got all of the stuff needed. Actually, I thought I cut that one down. Hold that thought. Got one more. Thought I got that one cut down. Clearly, I was mistaken. But we're going to get this one cut down real quick, and then we will get the last of the stumps. That tree is officially cut down. We just now need to get rid of the stump. There we go. Stump's gone. Alright, get this thing out the way. We'll jump in our forwarder. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Hopefully this will come off of here. So I pulled this up here because I wanted a cool thumbnail. And I got the result that I was looking for. Come on, a little bit quick. Come on! Just a little more. We'll wiggle it over here. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, let's get this thing out of here before I crash the game. Oh, man. Boy, the game does not like that. Alright, let's go ahead and save real quick, too. It's alright, though. As we clean up and use, forward time here, we'll be using all those trees anyway. So, it's not that big a deal. It will go away pretty quickly. We'll use our forwarder, go over there, grab those trees that we just made, drag them over here to the sawmill, and they can be our next trees to go into the sawmill. And then we just smooth out the area a little bit. There's a couple little rough spots, including that little workshop that we placed down. Smooth that out a bit, and then we can start planting. And a planting we will. But the reason I painted it in that texture is a couple of reasons. One, it got rid of all the little bushes. But two, it shows all the stumps. We got rid of that. And three, it does a really good job of showcasing where the high spots are on the side, right? So let's get into construction real quick. We'll get rid of this and sell it. Doesn't need to be there anymore, and you can see it leaves a little bit of an oopsie spot, but it's not that big a deal. The rest of this stuff can be easily hauled in. So we're just going to go ahead and drag everything to us. Only take a couple of seconds here. Alright, now if we lower our blade, drag everything to us. I know it's going to kind of conflict with that friggin' lodgepole. That's fine. We have ways of dealing with... So we have ways of dealing with, and then we struggle to get this lodgepole off of my stick. Get off my trees! You're slowing down progress, you little turd. I got a pole. Oh, God. Who put that there? Dude, this lodge pole's being a pain in the neck. Just let go. Let it go. Let it go. Oh, close it up. All right. It was a lot more frustrating than it needed to be. Okay, and we'll simply grab this. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Where there's a will, there's a way, folks. Never forget that. Grab this little tree. And there's a couple of trees over this direction. Finally, one last tree. Perfect. Like I said, will, way. Never forget. I don't know who Will is, but he always comes through for me, so I can't complain. Get this thing back over here to the sawmill. All these trees will be cleaned up. Then we do a little bit of just minor terraforming to smooth out some of the high spots. And then we start planting. It's a great thing. Kind of weird hauling stuff that have branches again. We've been de-branching everything for so long now that it's kind of weird having the branches back, but still. Pretty happy with how things have gone in this series. You guys know that. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time without you, my friend. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Anyway, I'm a dork. If you haven't figured that out yet, I'm a dork. It's just the way I am. I don't know why. But we're going to get this stuff over there. It just takes time to get it there. Trying to get through this without as much in terms of time lapses, because we've been doing a lot of time lapsing lately. A lot of time lapses. So today's going to be a little bit less that. You're not going to get as much overall progress done today as we have in previous episodes, but we have managed to get the stuff done that we want to get done. And we will go through and get the little bits left, and then we'll do our planting, and we'll be done. It'll be good. We got 600 trees, because each one of those pallets has 300 trees on it. So we have 600 trees to plant. Now, I'm not saying we're going to plant them all today, but we're going to plant a good chunk of them today, that's for sure. Because that's a lot of area that we have to plant. But I'm hoping that this will easily just drag these straight into the sawmill. I doubt that we'll be able to use all of it just yet, but over the next couple of months we'll be able to use these trees and then hopefully start using those in the gigantic pile. That seems like a good place for it. Assert your dominance, okay? This saw has nothing on you. Remember that, Papa Smurf. Alright. Well, we got a couple of trees left here, but that's fine. We are officially full on our storage, so we're good there. Don't have to worry about any of that. Oh, don't go in here. We don't want that. Lord knows we don't want that. Alright, let's teleport back across the map here. I mean, that's close enough. Alright. So, we want to get the stump grinder put away. Because we don't need it for the time being. We can take it back down there towards the bottom. Then we're going to need to pick up our tree planter. Actually, I'm going to take this stump grinder, instead of taking it to the bottom, I'm going to take this stump grinder and kind of put it up here towards the top of the hill at the cabin for the time being. That way I know where it's at. Because I'm sure you guys will remind me that the stump grinder's up here at the cabin, right? Put it right there. Alright, now let's go get the planter. Well, before we start planting, we got to go through and get rid of those high spots. Hopefully it doesn't cost more than $16,500. We'll see. All right, planter, you know the time. It's that time again. Time for you to earn your keep. Also, there's a stump over here. We're gonna have to get rid of that at some point. This is the part where somebody points out the fact that I just had the stump grinder on the front, and if I'd have just kept it on there, could have got rid of that in just no time flat. So that stump gets to stick around for a lot longer than it needs to. It's only due to my own incompetence. Alright. Nobody gonna stop Little Green. We got some planting to do. Look at this area, man. We have cleared this entire area. Yoink. Alright. Well, let's shut her down for the time being. And get in the construction menu. Do a little bit of smoothing. Or softening, whatever you want to call it. Get rid of that. Make it a little bit smaller. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Again, not trying to make everything perfect. I'm just trying to, you know, get rid of the worst of the worst. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, that only cost us a couple grand. That ain't too bad. Alright, time for you to move your booty out of the way, Bessie. You've done good holding down the fort. But it's time for us to start planting. Maybe we teleport into the big truck down there and move it out the way too. Up the ramps. Been dragging those ramps around for a while. It's like, man, seems slow. That's why. Alright. Alright, Little Green. Let's get to planting. Also, I managed to leave this tree right here on the edge of our property. Like an absolute doof. It's alright though. We'll work around it. Just try to go do our best to drive in a straight line. This will give us a pretty good idea of how many trees we're going to get into this little area. And this is a big area, but I may have overestimated the amount of area that I've created. Also, it looks like we're on a bit of a slant here, so I'm going to have to turn to the right a little bit. Now, the trick when you're doing forestry is to not make it too dense, all right? You want to leave enough room for everything to make it easy to harvest, as well as not completely destroy your game when you're near it. I've done that in the past where I've planted too many trees too densely together, and A, it makes it a pain in the neck when you're trying to harvest them because they get stuck on one another, but B, because it kind of lags out the game. That area that we made over there was pretty dense, but it didn't lag the game out. Apparently I need to leave this on. It was actually decently spaced, so it wasn't too bad at all. But it looks like we're going to get somewhere close to 30 trees per row, which is not bad. Not bad at all. We'll take that. I don't know if it's going to be quite 30 trees, but it's going to be close. We're going to go 30 trees. There you go. Lift her up. Now we want to give ourselves a little bit of room. We can always extend our little area that we painted just a little bit further. But I want to give ourselves a little bit of a room. So that it's not too dense. Basically like one tractor's worth, maybe. Kind of awkward because I use the compass down in the bottom left to try to like maintain a heading, but it's not perfect at all. Because our field that we're planting on is a little bit crooked. But as you can see, we left the gravel nice and neat enough. It was able to get rid of the grass and the bushes, but also our planter can still plant through it, so it's not overly packed, meaning that our trees will grow in a nice clean area that will make it very easy for us to harvest. But with each one of these pallets having 300 trees on it, we're going to be able to plant a lot of trees. Dude, we just wrecked old Bessie, didn't we? Bessie never stood a chance against Lil Green. Get her turned around. Get her on header. And drop it down. Might be a little bit close here, but we'll see. See how it works out. Yeah, like I said, this episode, we're going to be trying not to do the time lapses, so this is going to be a little bit longer of an episode with a little bit less overall progress done. But I know that the time lapses, we've been doing a lot of them, and they've been like, especially the last episode, that was 3 hours of video that was time lapsed into, what, 30 minutes of time lapse, which is excessive. But if I sped it up any further, then it just made you like motion sick. So I was trying not to make everybody sick, but at the same time, like, show you guys how much work I was putting in, because it was a lot of work. Like, I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of the amount of work that we were putting in. And I think it turned out okay. It was a long time lapse, and probably the longest time lapse that we'll ever do. But who knows? The series is progressing nicely. We might end up doing some more time lapses in the future. But I think we're starting to get to that point where time-lapsing everything is becoming less, just due to the fact that, like, we can get a lot done, and I don't have to time-lapse it. Like, a lot of the work that we're doing isn't that tedious, right? It's repetitive, but not super tedious. So, yeah, you guys will have to let me know, as always, down in the comments below, whether you guys enjoy this format more, or if you enjoy the time-lapses. A little salt and pepper of both. Like, I try to keep it, you know, relatively balanced for talking versus time lapse. But yeah, you guys at the end of the day are going to have to be the ones to tell me what you like, what you don't like. But we're basically going through and trying to plant 30 trees per row here to keep it relatively even. Trying to keep it evenly spaced as well, without getting too crazy. I don't want it to be overly dense, but I also don't want it to be like too far spaced out, because I want to be efficient with the land usage. And once this stuff grows in, I think it'll look freaking awesome. You guys know lodge poles, when they get planted, are pretty epic. I mean, just look at what we got going over there and how nice those turned out. This area is going to put that to shame. For sure. Not only will it be more trees. Actually, I say not only will it be more trees. I don't know if it's actually going to end up being more trees, because that was what was left. I think it was about 180 trees that we planted over there. In that area, because we planted a few on the other side where our new sawmill and yard area is. But yeah, for those out there that don't think that tree farming is actual farming, I mean, this should show you everything you need to know, right? Like, we're doing the same thing that farmers do, right? It's just logging. So I have to plant my crop, I get to harvest my crop. My crops take a lot longer to grow, but you know, it all comes out in the rinse cycle. Just different types of farming do different things. Alright, turn this thing around, get ourselves lined up again. kind of put ourselves about here. Hello? Go backwards. Dude, the transmissions in this game, I feel like, took a step backwards. That is one of the things that I will say about this game compared to the previous. Feels like the transmissions have gone backwards. Now, as for the future and what our plans are, the initial plan was to establish Hidden Spring Timbers, get it all built up and looking good. Once we finish with our area of getting Hidden Spring Timbers the way that I want it, and it's a consistent moneymaker for us already, but it's going to be even more so as we go forward, especially once this crop matures and we can start harvesting it as well. But going forward, this is going to be the bankroll for us to be able to extend the map even further and do some other things. One of the things that I would like to do would be to build up like a town area up top. So we already have kind of a small area that's been established as the quote-unquote town. So what we could do is go further than that and start to expand on that. Now that we've got some money coming into the area, plus some heavy equipment from us, like we can start to clear out the area up top. We can use our money to fund building the town. You know, put in some basic necessities that are going to help the area as people decide to move out here, because it is a gorgeous area. I don't think anybody would argue against that. It is a beautiful area to live. Nice, rural, secluded, mountain area. A little bit less water than I would prefer, but we have a monopoly on the water, so we're pretty happy about that. I'm sure that the groundwater is not too bad to get to out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure that you wouldn't have to dig too deeply to get to water. I mean, look how green it is out here. There's got to be water somewhere. But yeah, I think trying to get to a point where we can start to build up the town a little bit and get to a point where we can do the actual farming side of things too, where we get into like your basic generic farming that everybody knows from Farming Simulator. We can start to potentially get into some of that as well. But that'll be towards the end of the series, because again, I feel like there has been some new mods come out, new maps come out that I wanna look into, and I would like to get into some other stuff. So you guys will have to, as I said, you guys will have to let me know what you guys are wanting to see. If you guys want to see me take this map all the way to completion, where we get not only Hidden Spring Timbers set up, but we also set up the town, set up you know, some farming plots and stuff, so that, you know, this map becomes a lot more fleshed out. Or if you guys would like to see the next series start, now that we're getting close to finishing up our Hidden Spring Timbers area. Like I said, I still have a lot of cleaning to do. I want to get that hill cleared a little bit more so that the cabin is on a nice clear hill. I want to get that planted with some nice green grass, smoothed out so that all the humps are gone and it's more like smooth overall, to make that area just look that much better. And then from there, we've got to do the decorating of the area on the other side. We've got to finish up our yard area. Like there's still a lot of work to be done. Don't get it twisted. There's still a lot of work to be done. But I'm pretty excited at potentially moving on to a new series, or starting to do like more one-off videos for Farm Sim instead of a dedicated series. I feel like the Farm Sim community as a whole, unless you're an established farming simulator channel, which I'm not yet, I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. Unless you're an established channel, I feel like you don't get the views on the series. So as you can go over the course of the last 20, this will be episode 26, but you can go look at the series progression and see the views from episode 1 till now, and how they've steadily trailed off, you know, over the series as people become less and less interested because they're seeing the same things over and over again. And I think that's the case for most long series on Farming Simulator. So maybe take a break from doing a long series for a little bit, do some like dedicated one-off videos where we just have fun for a video, doing some crazy things. But these are all ideas that I have. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Starting to get a little bit too close to my other row here. Just trying to maintain some like even spacing as best I can. It's not going to be perfect, obviously, but just trying to do the best that I can. Our field kind of gets a little bit wonky, so it's kind of hard to gauge whether or not I'm pointed in a relatively straight line or if I'm going against it. And again, using the compass down on the bottom only helps if you're going in, you know, specific angles. Starting to run into my own stuff now. Sorry, we knew this was going to happen. This is where that spacing comes in real handy. That's why I like this thing so much, because it allows you to really have that nice even spacing, which allows you to maneuver your equipment in between the trees and everything as needed. There's that transmission that needs to shift 60 times just to move 3 feet. But we've almost planted 300 trees over here, which is pretty awesome. If we get to that point, which we should have plenty of room here. That means that we've, okay, we're getting a little bit too close here, Spark. A little too close. We're going to end up with lag if I keep that up. But 30 trees per row means that to plant this entire pallet, we need 10 rows of trees. Right? So it's pretty awesome to be able to get so many trees into this area, which I knew was going to be a thing. Like this was the goal when we bought this piece of property. I said it would be either a great place to have like an open field area if we wanted to get into the farming side of things, or if we wanted to go ahead and make it another tree farm. Like it is the perfect opportunity for that as well. And I think it has showed its purpose perfectly. Right? It was a vision, and I think that's something that I've done pretty well with our Farm Sim series up to this point. In all of my series that I've done, whether it be my streamed Farm Sim stuff or this, I generally have a plan, right? I see an area, I have an idea of what I want to do with it, and then I make it happen. I go in and I do all the work necessary to make that vision that I have in my head come to life. And I think that's something that I do relatively well. I've got to work on the editing side of things. I know that. You guys know that. I'm more of a streamer or, after action commentary with the World of Warships Legends stuff. Like that's where I have been comfortable for so long. So the editing and all that stuff is new to me, trying to make an interesting video that's longer than, 10 to 12 minutes, which is what I'm used to for World of Warships. It's its own little trick, but I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm enjoying the challenge. I'm enjoying the fact that you guys are enjoying the series, that a lot of you guys have stuck around for this. This is episode 26, guys. 26 episodes. It's a lot of work. And you guys have been here supporting me the entire time, and I cannot thank you guys enough for it. You guys have been incredible. See the overcast, the sun's starting to fade behind the clouds. It is late in the year, it's in December, so the sun goes down earlier than usual anyway. But as another day is coming to a close, another month is coming to a close, we're going to have our next stage of lodgepole pines planted. It's going to be ready to go. It'll take several years for these to grow to maturity, but our future will be secure, right? And that's the main thing. Having this as our, future, as a consistent way to earn money and bankroll our expansion, our goals for the area, that's what it's been all about the entire time. It has taken us a long time, a lot of hard work to get here, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. I think we've done so much, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I'm a little concerned about this tree that's directly off my front. We are going to end up running into that tree. We'll have to shut her down there. So that row's going to have less than 30 trees in it. We'll try to plant all the rest of these in this row here. Now the real question is, do I go ahead and grab that other pallet of saplings and then finish planting this area? I think I do. I think that would be a good idea. But I also think that that'll be pretty much the end of the episode at that point, because once this gets planted, that's all we had planned for today. Is to come on, clean up the area, get all the tree stumps removed, drop our paint down to make sure, get all the gravel moved in so that it's able to keep the grass and the shrubs away, but our trees are going to be able to be planted through it, and they're going to be able to grow nice and strong and healthy with no competition. other than other trees, obviously. Something so satisfying about planting trees. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just, I don't know if it's the timing of it, just every, few seconds you see another tree pop out. But it is satisfying. And then you get to look over your field and see all these trees nice and evenly spaced roughly in their little rows. This will be a little bit of a longer row here. Actually, it won't be, because I'm pretty sure we're going to run out of space. Yeah, I don't have access to this land. That's what I was worried about. It's alright. We can plant this one. Try to get a little bit closer. Somewhere in here. Alright, now we go pick up another pallet of saplings, which we already have over here. I gotta push Bessie back onto her wheels after we kind of brutalized her a little bit. Sorry, Bessie. I know you've been enjoying your time as a chia pet, but I'm gonna have to take that from you. Okay, so my tires are trying to like pull down Bessie. So maybe if we just bump into the back of Bessie with this, that'll do the trick. That'll work. Unconventional maybe, but it was effective. Thank you, Bessie. All right, let's head back over here, get lined back up. There we go. Well, I'm not going to make you guys sit through the rest of this planting. I feel like you guys have seen enough with me jibber jabbering, so I'll just do a little jump cut till we finish here. All right, so there you have it, folks. Our area has been officially planted. It's not quite as perfectly evenly spaced as I would hope for, but overall it's not too bad. And to make matters better, we have 389 trees in this area. 389 trees ready for our future. Now, I could put a few more over here towards the right side if I really wanted to, but I think this is fine. I don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to keep everything as even as I can, so this wouldn't be a full row. But still, I'm very happy with this. This is a lot of work, but it's been worth it, and it will be worth it for a long time to come. But I think for today, I think that's probably where we're going to have to call it. We've done everything that we needed to do, including planting our future. I mean, look, just save real quick, and we'll show you guys in the construction menu just how many trees we got. Like, 389 trees. Whoops. have been planted in this area. So this whole area, look how big this area is. Just as a little bit of a perspective, you can see it's a little bit wider at the top, a little bit narrower at the bottom due to the terrain and the fact that we still have all these trees over here. So that's why it kind of gets a little bit bunched up down here and a little bit wider spacing at the top. But other than that, I mean, just look at these beautiful trees. This is our future, folks. This is our future. Right here. We are going to be well supplied here at Hidden Spring Timbers. And just keeping with our promise, let's take a look at our statistics real quick. So we have just hit 90 hours on the series so far. So 90 hours played. We have cut down 702 trees. We have planted 689. Now, you guys remember one of my deals that I made. Before the end of this series, we will have planted more trees than we have cut down. That is one other thing that I wanted to make sure that we did. So, before we're done, we will have to replant everything. Now, what is the future in the immediate sense? Well, one of the things that I want to do, as you guys know, is go over here and take this area that's up here. Get rid of the trees that are around directly near the thing. We're going to leave these trees that are down here, this group of trees. But all these trees that are kind of straggly right up here on the top, these are going to go away. We're going to get rid of those. We're going to turn this into one gigantic grass field, right? Just like we did on the other side. Everything that's left that isn't in there, we're going to turn it into a grass field. We're going to merge it with this over here. All right, so you can kind of see where we're going with this. This area that's really dense is going to be kind of the border, and then everything else got to go. So we're going to have a lot more clearing in the future. We're also going to have a lot of terraforming in our future, so we're going to need money for that as well, because I want to smooth these hills out, get rid of those peaks and valleys, kind of make everything nice and smooth, and then we'll plant it with this grass to make it all nice and green, so that it looks as good as that. I mean, we basically got a golf course over here. Yeah, it's a long grass golf course. I wouldn't want to play golf on it, but it looks good. And that's kind of what the plan is for this side as well, right? And then once we get that done, the next thing will be to be buying some property over this direction. We already own this property over here, right? Like, we own some of this property. When we buy this next square, then what that'll allow us to do is start to make our road over to our tree farm that we can use from there, so that we're not pulling everything directly up over the top of the hill to the sawmill that direction, you know what I mean? So obviously the tree farm is going to be getting everything loaded with the truck, right? We're going to be loading everything from the tree farm onto the truck, taking it over down the road into town to the sawmill across here to make money. Whereas this tree farm, or this sawmill, is going to be fed, once we get through all the stuff that we've already cut down, which is considerable, is going to be fed by this forest right over here. So our forwarder is going to come over here. It's going to be used over here. We can cut down trees and stuff one at a time. Don't need to go too crazy. We can cut them down by hand if we have to, and then just drive everything from there over directly into the sawmill as needed. But that'll be a process that just goes on naturally. We're not in any hurry to clear this forest. And again, we want to keep it Hidden Spring Timbers, so we want to preserve the idea that we are kind of hidden back here, right? So we don't want to get rid of all the trees. So we will still have our natural barriers. But with all of that being said, I think that's where we're going to call it for today. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are excited for the future. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.